So, how does my serial killer outfit look?
What is up everyone, Movie Wayne back again with another review, and this is going to be for the film Random Acts of Violence, and this is directed by J. Baruchel, starring Jesse Williams and Jordana Brewster. Now, I've been exploring Shudder recently. I'm kind of new to the service, and this one dropped just a couple of weeks ago, and it sounded like my cup of tea for sure. This is about a comic book writer whose killer he has made up seems to be committing acts of murder and violence in real life. Now, this is only an 80-minute film, and sometimes that's all I think slashers really need to be. It's an interesting concept, and as a slasher movie, it does the job. If you're a fan of this subgenre, you're going to connect with this movie in a positive way, I feel. Now, I admire the way the story stuck to its guns here. After 30 minutes of build-up and giving us this story and this villain, it didn't lose itself and just become this big kill fest for the sake of it. It kept going back to our main characters and referencing this comic book that they had made up and the reason why this is all happening. The story never ever lost itself or went in any silly directions. This movie is also really well shot too. I was quite surprised how good it looked, and there is also a moment which is really well directed where the killer just appears out of nowhere and really you don't expect it at all. I won't say when because of spoilers, but this was a refreshing change to catch you off guard. Now, there aren't a hell of a lot of these in this movie, but when they happen, the kills here are really well done. One scene with a group of friends in a car was really quite brutal, I thought. And you think it's over and you see the aftermath with this image on screen, and it's quite shocking to see. It doesn't hold back at all. Also, the killer in this movie looked kind of cool, I thought. He wears a welding mask, and I know from personal experience that will be uncomfortable. But he looks the part, he looks kind of unique, and he's portrayed as a boogeyman in this movie, which I kind of liked. You know, everyone's kind of getting a bit wary of him, and he felt very dangerous. Jordana Brewster is also in this movie, which quite surprised me actually, and I thought she was great. However, I can't really say the same for our main protagonist, Jesse Williams. I just can't take to the guy, I'm afraid. I seen him in Cabin in the Woods and I thought he was the weakest character in that movie, and it's the same here. He's just so wooden, I feel, and doesn't really show any emotion whatsoever when there's murders happening around him and stuff. Apart from one time, and it happens a few times through the movie, he just pulls the same face. So if he's meant to be scared, he will pull the same face. If something bad has happened, he will pull the same face. Here's the face that he pulls. I also feel like the movie suffered a little bit in the last 10 minutes there. Not because the story is bad or anything, it's just the overuse of blood in this scene, and it just sort of goes into B-movie territory there. It just didn't feel like the rest of the film, which everything else was really well done. It just felt like it was part of a different movie. Also, as good as the killer is here, there are a few things that fall in his favour. Now, I know that's a common slasher movie trope, but it sort of took me out the film just a little bit there. It's a minor nitpick, but there is one moment in this movie where he's following a car and the tyre bursts and gives him a chance to kill these people, even though I didn't see him mess with the tyre or do anything to make that tyre burst. Things like that. Perhaps the biggest concern about this movie though is that it points the finger at violence here and makes our main guy look bad for making up this slasher villain in these comic books and making him do terrible things. But this is what this movie is. It's a violent slasher film, and it sort of feels like it was contradicting itself there. I don't know if it was parodying itself, but it didn't feel like it was. It felt like it was being quite serious, and that just felt a little bit off to me. Still though, I had a good time with this film. Even though the story sounded promising to me, I thought it was going to be quite terrible, to be honest, but it wasn't. It was an enjoyable slasher movie with some excusable problems. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and rate this now. I'm going to give Random Acts of Violence a 6.5 out of 10. Pretty cool addition to Shudder, and I can't wait to check out more of this service. Okay, I always like to end these reviews with a little fun fact. Now, the fun fact for Random Acts of Violence is that way back in 2011, when this movie was being considered to be made, Eminem was set to be the main star of this film. Even now, I think that may have been a better casting choice. Okay guys, I hope you all enjoyed this review. If you want to comment about random acts of violence or the Shudder service in general, leave them down below. I will reply to every single one of you, I promise. If you want to subscribe, it's up to yourself. Lots more videos coming, lots more reviews. Take it all easy guys, and I'll see you all in the next video.